Hey everyone, this is Lars Schmidt, founder of Amplify, and I'm really excited to introduce something that I've been working on for quite some time actually. Over the last couple of years, I've been building a range of different entrepreneurial, editorial, and open source projects. And frankly, over that time, I built at least a dozen websites, a range of different platforms, multiple logos, multiple color palettes and brand platforms. And to be honest with you, I was starting to get confused over what is what and how everything was structured. And so I can only imagine how difficult it was becoming for people who are, interested in engaging in some of these different channels to actually find out where to go. And so I'm really excited to actually walk you through the new consolidated brand platform that is going to be the home for all of my work across all of those areas moving forward. And so rather than just share the URL, I want to actually walk you through this a little bit to give you some context and background as to how this platform came together. And so Amplify Talent is the formal name of my primary company. I go by Amplify. Amplifytalent.com will be the website that everything will live in now. And really opening with this kind of brand statement, accelerating innovation in HR. That's my personal mission. Everything that I get involved in, whether it's an entrepreneurial endeavor, an open source endeavor, or editorial projects, are all have to kind of come back to, is this moving the needle? Is this doing something that is helping accelerate the conversation, the capabilities, etc., in modern HR? And this hero image really stood out to me. I love the idea of peeling the curtain back on kind of bland traditional transactional HR practices and finding a much more vibrant future for our field. And so that's what this image represents to me and why I chose it. The logo and the color pink and that brand platform are going to remain. So, the logo to me represents fast forward. The brand statement for Amplify is forward fast. And to me, I think that's the opportunity that we have in the field of HR right now, is to really move our thinking, our practices, our communities together fast. And so that really, I think, is kind of the anchor statement for the Amplify brand platform and the work that I do. So getting into the work itself, there's really three primary pillars to Amplify. Amplify Agency, that's my core business. So I do HR executive search with clients all around the world, entirely focused on those modern HR and people profiles. So from chief people officers, CHROs, heads of people, even down to the VP of TA and kind of functional lead areas. That tends to be the space where I operate. Mostly tech, though not exclusive. But that's my core and primary business. I also do some consulting and advisory work as well, so you can learn more about that here. Each of these tiles takes you to a subpage where obviously you can learn more about the specifics of how I operate. I've been really fortunate over my career to have people who I have deep admiration for, like Adam Grant, talk about my book, my podcast, my work. And so I include some of those here. So for those of you that don't know me, you can get a little bit better sense of how I work, what I value, and how I operate, as well as clients that I've worked with in the past. Then we get into the Amplify Accelerator. So again, these were channels formerly known as Redefining HR. Now they're all under the Amplify banner. And so I open with some testimonials and quotes from alumni of the Amplify Accelerator cohort programs to give you a sense of what to expect in those courses. And then I get into the three components of the Accelerator itself. So the cohort programs, on-demand courses. Right now I just have one. It's the Redefining HR workshop course, which is designed to be a complementary asset for people leaders or HR practitioners to kind of have a guided workshop around the practices and concepts discussed in the Redefining HR book internally within their own teams. And then the Amplify Accelerator community. So this is a vibrant community of over 300 members, HR practitioners and leaders all around the world. You're going to hear a lot more about the community in the coming weeks and months. We're just getting ready to launch a new Community Catalyst ambassador program led by the amazing Balbina Knight. So really excited to have her heading up that group. And we're going to have over a dozen leaders from businesses and TA teams and people ops teams all around the world And so we'll be bringing some more editorial work out of that community, and really excited. So you can learn more about how to join the community, what's involved on this page. And then from there, we get down into, well, we know this guy, I don't need to spend any time there. But then I would jump into the third channel of Amplify, which is Amplify Media. And so in Amplify Media, you'll find the Redefining HR podcast that will retain the name Redefining HR, as well as the Redefining HR book, obviously will retain the name. But I'm also launching a new blog as well. And so the blog will actually be a mix of editorial and open source projects and programs that I write, but also editorial contributions from the Amplify Accelerator community. And so I'm gonna be introducing you to some new voices and new leaders and perspectives through that blog as well. So really excited to highlight great work that's being done in the field and elevate additional voices of future leaders in the field of HR and people ops. And then lastly, at the beginning and at the end, you can subscribe to the Amplify Accelerator blog. So one update on that. So the way the blog will work now is on Mondays, I'll be sharing the latest podcast episode. On Wednesday, I'll be sharing the weekly recap of news, trends, and resources and all things people. That formerly came out on Fridays and was known as This Week in People. Now it's going to be the Amplify Digest, and it's going to come out on Wednesdays. And for those of you that are not yet subscribers to the newsletter, but are subscribers to my LinkedIn newsletter, on Saturdays, I'm going to start to send a weekly digest of all of the things, and recommend that you join this email mailing list so you can get those things fresh off the press when they're released. So anyway, you can find all of this at amplifytalent.com. And I'm really excited to have everything under one roof. All of my projects, open source, otherwise, they will all be housed out of this platform. So take it for a spin. Let me know what you think. And thanks so much for your interest in all things Amplify.